Hello, hello. Welcome back, Business Mama, to another episode of the Step Into Your Voice podcast. Kids are on vacation already between baking and cooking and a last minute cleaning and a lot of other things that I still have on my to-do list. I decided to record this episode audio only because I don't have time to put mascara or lipstick and be presentable on video. So I really don't want to put more pressure on myself. For me, it's more important to record this episode, put it out there instead of making sure that I look presentable on camera, because to be honest, it's early in the morning and I'm still in my PJs while I record this episode. So I hope that you will focus on what I have to say, even if it's on audio. I'm recording this special episode as I'm wrapping up a magical week. This is the week before Christmas. And lately I heard a lot of people around me that they were attending their Christmas party at their corporate job. And to be honest, I was feeling a little bit jealous because I was craving for that feeling of being festive in an environment that is not really work related. And so this week I had the opportunity to attend an event that in my mind was very similar to Christmas party. And it was an event where I also raised my hand to give a speech because it was my choice, and it was also the Christmas party. I don't even remember when I attended a Christmas party. And then I also joined 2 virtual Christmas events, networking events. And the theme was centered around Christmas and gratitude and 2025 wrap up. The first networking event had breakout rooms and in between some trivia questions, and it was a lot of fun. I really loved it because each breakout room had a different theme, a different topic. Actually, we had to answer a question in each breakout room, and I realized how much I love these breakout rooms where there's actually a theme, because otherwise, you know how it is, you joined a breakout room and then sometimes you feel awkward, you don't know who will go first, you maybe don't want to start, other people are also shy, they don't want to start, so what do? Do you wait for the other person to go first? And yes, sometimes there are a lot of chatty people and it can go crazy. I remember it was a couple of weeks ago when I attended a different networking event, and we did not have those predetermined questions. We were just put in breakout rooms just to get to know each other. And I remember I joined the breakout room. The first person said, my battery is going to die, so I'm going to go first. I'm going to share a little bit about myself, and then I will go look for my charger. And the other person was driving and she wanted to speak, and I said, okay, go ahead. But the thing was that this second person kept talking and talking and talking. And even when we had that message on the screen that we have 60 seconds left, she kept talking. I think she was on her phone. She was driving, so most probably she didn't see that reminder, and I thought of interrupting her. Then I don't think she would have paid attention to what I was going to say anyway, because she was really so into sharing what her thing was that I don't think she cared about anything else. And it really gave me a bitter taste, to be honest, at the end of that breakout room. And this is why when I joined this networking event, I really loved it, that it was not awkward at all because we already knew what we had to do. And then we also decided that the first person speaking is going to nominate who's going to be next. And this way it feels organized. Everybody has their chance to share. And I really loved it. It was also festive. Everyone was ready for Christmas and really loved it. The other one was also lovely because I feel we had the opportunity to connect at a deeper level because there was only a handful of us and we took turns in answering different questions around how 2025 went. We also had a really fun quiz. It was a CEO Mom reality check. And I think the point of this quiz was to prove ourselves that we as business moms, we work differently, we build our businesses differently because we want to be there for our kids, but we also want to run our businesses. And it made us see that no matter where we lived, I think we were from 3 different continents, and it proved that no matter where we live, we faces similar challenges, and it's so nice to come together in these types of events and support each other and learn from each other. And now I am really excited to share with you a little bit about the speech I gave when I attended this in-person event. Some of you know that towards the end of this year, I decided to attend some speaking workshops in person because I really want to learn how to speak better. I felt very emotional attending this event. I felt very nervous giving this speech. Initially, I said that I will bring a +1. It was supposed to be my husband, but then the day before, he found out that he has to attend a business gathering, so he couldn't join me. And my daughter has other plans, so the only one available was my son, and I asked him if he wants to join me. He was not very sure, but I told him this would mean a lot to me, so he offered to support me. And I am so glad that he decided to say yes because he had the opportunity to assist, to see myself and other speakers that even though we are adults, we are still learning different skills. We are still trying to do our best to improve in different areas where we feel we lack those skills. And to be honest, some time ago, I thought that speaking is something that you have or you don't have. Or you born with it or you don't. But lately I realized that speaking is just a skill as any other skill, and if you decide to practice it long enough, you will get better at it. So this is why I'm trying to do. This is why I joined these local workshops, because I'm interested in learning to speak more effective. And now I want to ask you if you already picked your word for 2025, the word that is representative for how 2025 went for you. Because we all know that December can be a very, very busy month. Especially if you have children, you have a lot of things to do. They have different activities, maybe Christmas fairs. I am also a part of a choir, so we had 3 concerts, a lot of rehearsals. So December was extremely busy. Not to mention the shopping, presents, the endless to-do list, the cooking, the cleaning, all the things. So there is a lot going on. But in the midst of all of that, I really think it's also important to take a moment and reflect how far we've got. Because I think it's very easy to look forward to 2026, set goals, set resolutions for the next year. But if you don't know exactly where you are at this very present moment as we wrap up 2025, how do you think you will get where you will want to be? And I specifically remember when at some point, maybe it was last year, I don't remember exactly when it was, but one of our cats was sick and we had to take her to the vet for a very specific scan. And where I initially went, they didn't have the machine to perform that scan, so we had to go to a different vet. And that one was located in a new area, and because the GPS that I have in my car was not updated, I couldn't properly locate this vet. Luckily, my son was there with me, and I was very stressed because the cat was feeling very agitated in the car. I was annoyed that I can't find that place. It was a new area. The roads were not the proper roads. And I really had a very hard time finding the place. And because I had no idea where I was, I had no idea how to get where I needed. But my son, he is very logical, and as we know, men are way much better with directions. And he told me, Mom, give me your phone, just follow my lead, I'm gonna guide you. Trust me, we will get there. And I tried one more time. And then finally I handed him my phone and I told him, okay, just tell me where to go, and all I want is for us to get to this vet. Because up to that point, we were just running around in circles and just wanted to get there and get the scan done. And he was able to find our way to the vet. And this is why I think it's important to take a moment and reflect where you are at, even if maybe there are things that you don't like, there are things that can be improved. It's important to see with honesty where you are at. So if you haven't decided on your word for 2025, maybe this episode is going to inspire you. And all you need is to find a few quiet moments to sit down and dedicate some time to see how 2025 went for you. For me, it was very easy to find my word because before this speech, I previously did another exercise based on a video I found on YouTube. If you are interested, I can send you the link to that video. So I reflected on how 2025 went for me, but in terms of positives and negatives. So I had two columns. I actually had my notebook, and on my left side of the notebook I had my positives, and on the right I had the negatives. And I looked at my calendar and my photo gallery, and I added things related to people, activities, and commitments. And I decided if that was a positive or a negative. And once I finished that list, I decided what I want to do more of in 2025 and what I want to let go of. And so because I did this exercise already, it was very easy for me to see that the word that really described my 2025 was presence. And looking back, I realized that this year, 2025, in my case, was not made out of this big, very important moment, but it was made of small steps. You know, sometimes we have those years where there is a huge happening that really marks that year. It's like a North Star. But this year, I did not have that huge moment. So for me, the year was compounded by smaller events, by smaller things, smaller steps. For me, it was made of those people who were around me, encouraging me, giving me ideas. This year was made of moments where I finally was able to keep promises I made to myself. And what I realized is that a lot of the things I did and the commitments I made were because I wanted to be present. At the beginning of the year, I signed up for a parenting program, and not because I wanted to be a perfect parent, but because I want to be a present mom. I really want to be there for my kids, especially when they need me. Now that they are teenagers, you know how it is. They need me, but sometimes they kind of push me, and I really want to understand them so that I can be there for them, even when they say they don't, but they actually do. So for the time that I have left with them, I really want to be a present mom. I really want for us to have fun moments, enjoyable moments, and to create sweet memories. This is why I'm so grateful for the coffee/tea dates I have with my daughter, because we are able to communicate in a different way than we do it at home. Because I am at home, I'm acting like a nagging mom, and I'm always questioning her. Did you do your homeworks? Did you do your chores? So this is why I love that we can create the space for her to open up. And then another thing that we love to do together is watch Gilmore Girls. And we do this on weekends, but sometimes she has different plans, sometimes I have other plans. So it's not very easy for us to do this. But this is why we have on our calendars the date, so we can have different conversations, the conversations that she needs, because she needs to confess. She needs to know that she can trust me. And I'm really grateful that we have these dates, because I'm aware that if I were to have a 9 to 5, I wouldn't have this opportunity. I am also grateful that I was able to be there for my son, because this year he started 9th grade. This is for him a new stage, a big change, because he had to pass an exam. And obviously, he had a lot of nerves, he was stressed, and all of that reminded me how fast time goes by and how important it is for us to support them in these moments. And I'm so grateful to see how he really flourishes. He has the courage to step into the unknown, and for me it's also a reminder that courage does not mean to act when you are not afraid. It's just being open to try something new, and I love seeing him trying new things. He signed up for the debate club. He signed up for a pilot project that is starting at his school in collaboration with a university and a few entrepreneurs, a few local entrepreneurs. So it's inspiring for me too. And I do feel that somehow we inspire each other. 2025 was a year where I was also present for myself. We traveled as a family, but then I also traveled alone more than in the past years. I attended events, some were local, some were a little bit further, and others were international events. And I was able to meet people, to listen to big names that helped me see a different perspective. And it was so eye-opening for me to meet those people that initially I was only familiar with them from social media. And and it was incredible to be in the same room with them. And that really allowed me to dream bigger. This year was the year where I did some things that I never thought are possible for someone like me. I hosted 23 interviews live on Instagram. I called this series Women Who Inspire. I hosted this series in March because I wanted to celebrate other business women, and I feel it's important to see each other, to support each other. This year, I also decided, you know what, I'm no longer going to wait, and I'm gonna launch my podcast. So I just picked a date and I did a very quiet launch. It was on October 10th, and I feel that a part of the confidence that I needed for launching this podcast was found in me attending those speaking workshops. And the way I launched the podcast is not something I would advise my clients to do, but I think it's also the fact that I'm different than my clients are. I'm in a different place when it comes to my confidence and my speaking skills. But I am grateful because I now have a podcast. I did this launch, even if it was not a perfect one, but still my podcast is out there. I am able to inspire other online business moms to do the same. And sometimes all we need is this first step so that we have something that we can improve. Otherwise, it's just a wish. Otherwise, this would still have been in planning mode because I love to make plans, but I always struggle with implementation. And I do feel that the biggest lesson for me is that presence matter more than perfection, and these small steps matter more than waiting for the perfect moment. So if you are listening to this episode, I want to invite you to stop for a moment. Maybe for Christmas, you have a quiet moment, or even after Christmas, and look back at this magical year and celebrate the word that is representative for you. So for this holiday season, I wish you to be present. Be present for the people around you who matter most. Be present for yourself. Have the courage to say yes to challenges, to opportunities that knock on your door, so that 2026 is gonna be an incredible year where you accomplish more than you could ever imagine. I would love to hear from you. What is your word for 2025? How are you ending this year? What is one accomplishment, one win, whether it's big or small, that you did this year? You can leave comments on Spotify or YouTube. I would love to hear from you. Merry Christmas.